Hi there, it's Adam bringing you another video to the channel. We are continuing the 21-22 UK Model Airport Series in 1/400 scale, focusing on the Thursday schedules as we continue through the day. So it's roughly around about an hour since the last update, and kind of that continues the next update as well. So the next update will be about an hour later. So again, there will be some movements that are, obviously from the last update, but it's all about the kind of transition and kind of sense of story throughout the day of the schedules. So of course we will get into the update itself. Start off on this side, on the far side. If we zoom in, so the far gate that we can see, we have the SAS 737-700 registration Sierra Echo Romeo Juliet X-Ray. This is doing a service from Stockholm inbound as SK2547. We have the Ryanair 737-800, Ryanair UK 737-800 registration Golf Romeo Uniform Kilo Alpha, arriving back from Stansted as RK596, and we'll be heading out to Poznan on a pretty short turnaround of around about half an hour or so. Back to, heading out to Poznan as RK6618, and it's a bit unusual to have a Ryanair from most of the updates we've done positioned on this stand, but again, with the concept of movements and things like that, you do kind of see the odd aircraft maybe positioned on a gate it wouldn't normally be located on, depending on other movements on other stands. Of course, Ryanair's are usually allocated to the stands nearest to us, which we will get into now. So occupying one of them stands or vacating one of them stands on pushback, is this United Airlines 757-200 registration November 41135, heading out as UA80 back to New York. And then of course we have an aircraft that of course is a mix of narrow body and wide body, which makes sense to utilise this stand more so. Not also that, but also to accommodate for the other schedules coming in as well later through the day, based on sort of allocated departure times, arrival times and things like that. Air Europa 7878 registration Echo Charlie Mike India Golf, doing the service from Madrid as UX1013. Of course, most of the movements that are featured in this update that didn't feature in the last update are pretty much have pretty much just arrived. Obviously, aircraft transitioning from the last update are kind of pretty much either halfway through turnaround or, as we've seen with the United 757, ready for departure. We go over to the far side on this side. We have the Virgin Atlantic A330-300, again on now the sort of departure side of turnaround, operating as VS73, heading out to Orlando, registration Golf Victor Sierra X-Ray Yankee. Next up we have a TUI 787-9, registration Golf Tango Uniform India Mike, operating as Bravo Yankee 184 to Punta Cana. And then next to that we have another TUI 7879, registration Golf Tango Uniform India Lima. This is heading out to Cancun to as BY142, registration Golf Tango Uniform India Lima, which I think I already mentioned. Next up we have arriving in, so this is just really a taxi in kind of phase for this aircraft. Again, tend to see deltas positioned on the stands that we can, but due to the movements, a little bit limited this time. But arriving as DL208 There's Delta Airlines 767-300 inbound from New York. Registration November 174 Delta November. But we'll head out to Boston as DL123. May or may not see the departure. It's around about 10:40, so it's kind of between times that we probably tend to focus on. So yeah, based on sort of update concepts and the times allocated, it may well be that this will depart under the radar, if you like, and not actually feature going back out in an update necessarily. But that is not the only one that does that. You know, I do have other movements that, you know, come in and obviously go out, and will transition throughout each update. And then we also have this sort of rare occasion for this CMA CGM Air Cargo A330-200F freighter, arriving from Liège as KF852. We'll continue on the same flight number out to Hong Kong. Yeah, just like I say, an adult movement, not necessarily one that would be scheduled. But yeah, that is pretty much an update for this one. So this is based on around about around about 10 o'clock period. Is it 10 o'clock? Or is it 9 o'clock? No. Sorry, more towards 9 o'clock, should I say. The next update transitions to about 10 o'clock. And then the one after that is about 1 o'clock. Again, there are a mix of movements, of course. So yeah. We'll keep them going. Just wanna, I don't really think there's much else to talk about. I did receive my 1-200 models in the parcel I was on about, so that arrived one day this past week. Might have been Thursday, I think, possibly. So I've sorted through them. Everything is looking good. All arrived pretty well. No problems. And I've also been sort of shifting my other models around as well. And mostly, well, I say mostly, they are all 1-200 so far that are here. Apart from obviously the models for this display, but in another room, I've got my 1-200 collection sort of growing with models that I've already got that I'm moving around and things like that. Eventually, and also in doing so, I'm creating a new log of all the models that I have in a more detailed fashion, just so, you know, if ever I do want to sell them, I think it's an easier reference for those who might be interested. Of course, it's a little bit quiet on the front of the Costa Rica kind of concept and the collection in that sense, but I do have models on order already, and they will be due whenever they're due. There's no particular rush for them. I think ultimately getting some of the models in place is kind of key to kind of make sure, you know, you've got them, and then you can possibly look at doing the actual layout, sensor things like that. Of course, in other news, you know, I kind of just want to touch up on this because, you know, it's been a bit of a strange scenario with the surprising death, as you might say, of Diogo Jota and Andre Silva. Of course, I'm not gonna cover it up. I'm more familiar with Diogo Jota, of course, being a Liverpool player, and myself as a Liverpool fan. Obviously, not just Liverpool fans that have been affected. I think across football, anybody that follows football, even if you don't follow football, you've probably seen the news. It certainly filled my feed up in the last couple of days. And you know what? It's every time I see posts online, it does hit you a little bit strangely, as if you kind of like knew him or knew them, and it's just baffling how life can change, for other people, and you don't know what's around the corner really. it's crazy. I don't really know what to say, but I just thought, it's a very sort of touchy subject, of course, but I still can't get my head around it, really. And I see his pictures, like, you hear the name, and then when you see his pictures, certainly of Diogo Jota in particular, like I said, being a Liverpool fan, it just seems crazy. It doesn't seem real. It seems like, the next day after the day you're in, you're going to wake up and it's like, it's going to be one of them things where it's going to be a hoax, or like, it's you've dreamt it or something like that. It's just baffling. It's baffling, and obviously it's still raw. It's still raw, and I think in the coming season it's going to be raw, especially when Liverpool play Wolves in particular. Obviously home and away, and I think obviously it's going to be marked with significance in certain games, particularly those two. But just I don't know. It's just a weird sort of feeling. Like I said, definitely emotional for everybody. And like I say, being a Liverpool supporter, just hits differently. But it's certainly a surprise. And I'll be honest. At first, when I first heard it, I didn't believe it. Like I thought, somebody having a joke, or what, but. It's just crazy. Like I say, you don't know what's around the corner, and like people are saying, people are posting things like, trying to enjoy your life to the maximum each day. Do you know what I mean? But it's a crazy world we live in, and it's an unfortunate situation. But obviously with family and just getting married as well, things like that, just the whole context of it is just it's wild. It is wild. But it's certainly not something nobody expected, and it just kind of wakes you up a little bit to the possibilities in life. But I just felt like I just wanted to express something to somebody in that regard. In terms of the updates, of course, I appreciate you watching once again. The next update will continue following on about an hour later. So this is, as I mentioned, about 9 o'clock. The next update will be about 10 o'clock, and we will continue that next weekend.